So Sam, welcome.
Thank you.
So you are an executive VP in a Baltimore-based digital marketing agency.
Yes.
You are also managing partner in W Venture.
Correct.
International speaker, a member of the Paid Search Association board,
Yep.
and a teacher in 3 schools.
Yes.
Yeah, VP wasn't enough?
Not yet. Always a little more.
Why do you like to do so many stuff?
I think it's fun. You learn new things, you get new perspectives. If you're not learning, you're not growing, you're missing out. So I like to put myself out of a job every couple of years.
Okay. And so yesterday I've read your newsletter.
Oh,
and
great.
I discovered that you are talking about very practical stuff, as if you were doing it. Are you still doing it?
Still do it.
Okay, so you are the boss and you do it.
Got to.
Okay.
You can't manage people if you don't know what's going on in the platform. You can't. I'm not going to ask anybody on my team to do something that I wouldn't do, and I haven't done. That's not how you get people to do what they need to do.
Yeah, I like that. Which percentage of your time do you spend on doing stuff versus being the boss?
Probably like 20–25%
Okay.
doing stuff. You know, still active in our clients, still meet with our clients, still do a lot of the strategy pieces, and it looks different now. I do a lot of looms.
Yeah.
Because I travel, and you know, you work on the business, so you have to bring in new clients, you have to do interviews, you have to do speaking engagements. So being in the office is harder since COVID, but a lot of it's looms and videos. And as much as I hate it, Slack.
You have to.
Platform.
So you just gave a conference.
Yep.
What I take away from it is think big and be creative. What would you add?
I think a lot of it is you have to know your audience, and you have to spend more time thinking about people and more time thinking about the organization that you work for, and less time trying to micromanage a machine.
Yeah.
Like there are fewer levers to pull. Those levers do less than they used to when you do pull them. But the stuff that does move the needle is understanding people, understanding the business, and setting the machine up for success.
That's good. So you are a PPC specialist.
Yeah, that's
and
where
I'm
I grew up.
Quoting you,
Uh-oh.
you call the evolution of Google and Facebook a relentless march toward automation. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty true. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one aged.
Yeah, you wrote
that
it.
aged like French wine, fantastically well. It's where it's going. Like they're not hiding it. They're saying it in every shareholder presentation. We're going to do more automation. We're going to push more automation. You know, Performance Max is continuing to get pushed more and more and more. Meta has removed additional targeting levers. They've pushed ASC very, very hard. You know, they're removing some manual options. They removed a whole other set of audience options just a month ago at this point. You know, it's getting more automated, right? Google, if you've been in Google Ads in the last couple of weeks in the US, they launched Gemini ad creation. You can put in a website.
Nice. It helps creating...
It creates it. It doesn't help at this point. It just creates it. It sets the whole thing up. It shows you your ad groups. It shows you the keywords it picked. It writes the ad copy all for you. It picks the search links. It crawls your website. It does all of it.
Is it good, the outcome?
It's solidly mediocre, but it's there.
But it's there.
And solidly mediocre from a machine and solidly mediocre from a marketer, they're the same. So unless the marketer is adding the value to make the ad copy better, to make it better than something a machine could make, what are you doing?
Still speaking about evolution, I want to play a quick game.
Oh, goody.
Simple. On a scale of 0 to 5, you are going to evaluate the impact of the following trends on the digital marketing community.
5 is big.
5 is big, 0 is nothing. Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
ChatGPT.
3.
Third-party cookies.
1.
TikTok.
Before or after we ban it? Probably a 4 before the ban, a 1 after.
Okay. Is it sure that it's going to be done?
The US Congress agrees on nothing. They agreed on this.
Okay.
I think...
So for now it's big.
For now it's big, but once that happens, I think you're going to see users evolve quickly.
So you think they're going to move to another
Reels,
platform?
they'll use YouTube Shorts more. New video platforms will come online to take that market share. I think TikTok gave us some magical insights into how people want to consume content. Like their user interface was brilliantly well designed. The one video at a time, the engagement right where your thumb is, right? Like some of those features, driving virility through a individual video versus considering the account. Those are all really smart things that TikTok did that they gave us, but TikTok doesn't own the moat on those. TikTok gave us that. We're going to take what's valuable and we're going to leave the rest.
Yeah. Copy them.
That's the Chinese way, right?
Yeah. They did it to us, we do it to them. Google SGE.
I think that's probably a 4.
Okay. User-generated content.
Like a 1.
Sustainability.
I think it's like a 2.
Okay.
I think it's, in the minds of people, I think it's a 4. But I think in the reality, when you look at where people actually allocate their dollars and how, if you take how people vote with their words, it's a 4 or a 5, it's huge. If you take about how people vote with their dollars, it's a 2.
I like this way of seeing things. Voice search.
0.
And the last one, AI influences.
I think I'd give them a 2 or a 3, not because of what they're going to do for people, but for how people will respond to them. Like I think when you look at how politicians and regulators respond to things, they're terrified of AI influencers. And I think that fear that it's not what they do, right? It's the fact that they terrify the people who can do something. And for that reason alone, they're going to be more influential than some other things.
Interesting. We'll talk about that in a year.
Perfect.
And we'll see where we are. I want to dig deeper into your role because, as I mentioned, you are a managing partner in a venture capital. So you help growing companies, but not only giving money, but helping them with your marketing.
Yes.
How does this helps you being a better consultant working with those companies?
So I think there are a lot of companies that are very excited and they can't afford an agency. It's too expensive. They don't have the funding yet. This whole thing started because we were engaged by other venture firms who were giving checks to companies and saying, okay, we know finance, we know product, we know ops. We think they're good here. But if we give them $10 million, 7 million of that is going to marketing. It's going to growth.
Yeah.
We don't know that. We're not experts in this. We need somebody to tell us. So they'd call us and we would look at the marketing plan and we would evaluate it and we would help them and we would pay nicely for it. But all of us, David, our CEO, Shayna, our COO, and I, we sat down and we said, we're driving millions and millions of dollars in revenue for these companies. We're really helping these funds, but we're not getting the upside. Right? We're just getting a fee, which is nice, but it's not all that we could do. We could do more. We can invest.
Okay.
David, our CEO, has been an angel investor for a very long time. He's been very successful at it. I've invested in startups and been fortunate to be successful at it. But we said, you know what, we're doing all these things individually and independently. Why don't we bring it together and say, you know what, not only can we help you with the capital, but we can also help you with the marketing. And we can take those same services that we were providing to the venture fund and provide them directly to you and help you grow better. And because we take our compensation in equity, we don't get paid unless you do well. So the incentives, there's a lot of incentives that are poorly aligned where an agency is just being paid by a startup and paid by a startup and paid by a startup, but they don't feel the pain that the startup does. They don't feel the urgency because
it's not their company.
It's not their company. Their check cashes. So by saying, you know what, we're going to be in there with you. We're going to take the risk with you. We believe in what we can do so much that we're willing to not just put in our money, but we're willing to put in our time and our effort. And we only take on a certain number of clients, so we're going to reserve a client spot for you. I think that indicates just how invested we are in those companies, but it also gives them something that they don't get otherwise. They get somebody who's an actual partner versus a consultant, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with a consultant. But then I think your question is, how does it make it better?
Yeah.
Because you see things, I think startups are faster. They move faster, they're more risk on.
Yep.
So You know, when you work with a big company, a lot of times their first question is always, well, who has done this? And historically, you had to use case studies that you found on the internet, or you had to make a case based on principles. Well, we have startups that we can work with. We have businesses that we have a sports tech incubation business that we own those brands, that we can work with, and we can actually do that. And we can come to you and say, not only do we believe this works from a theoretical standpoint, but we've actually done it with our own money and our own companies, and it worked. And the companies that we put our own money into, and it worked. So you, big company, why should you do this? Because we don't just have the idea, we have the data to back it up, and we can do it. I think the other reason is just that you want to stay on the cutting edge, and the cutting edge is always the startup. It's always
because they innovate.
It's always the underdog, right? It's always, you want to work for, you want to see what's the future. You have to work with the companies of the future.
Yeah.
Our team wouldn't get to do that if we didn't have this fund, because they couldn't afford us. Now we do, and now they can, and now they get to work with some of the most exciting companies around.
Isn't it more fun?
I think it's more fun. It's great for morale.
Yeah.
Our team members love to be able to work with really exciting companies. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
And you want them to have fun, because employees that are happy, I feel like, are more motivated. And for us, that shows up not just in the quality of the work, but it shows up in the longevity of our team. In the US, agency turnover is very, very fast.
Okay.
It's not uncommon for people in agencies to be gone in 6-9 months.
Oh, very fast.
Very fast. It's not uncommon. A lot of other agencies, if I look at people's resumes, it's a year at agency, a year at agency, a year at an agency. For us, our entire senior team has been here for 6 years, 11 years, 10 years, 26 years.
Because you evolve, and they have an opportunity to grow and do different things.
Yeah. We don't, we've uncapped how we don't have positions to fill. Like, it's not like, oh, you can't become a director because we have a director. No. If you're good enough to be a director, you're good enough to be a director. You're going to be a director, and you're going to be paid like a director. That's amazing. We had like in the paid search team, we had a senior director, and our other director was like, "Well, I guess I can't be promoted." Why not? Like, you're as good as she is. You're promoted. But that's only possible because you have that mindset that everybody needs to grow, and we need to grow our skill set, and we need to expand our horizons. And they all link together, and that's what leads people to stay with us for, our average employee who has been with us for 5 or 6 years at this point.
That's nice. That says something.
It says something. And our clients have been with us, our average client tenure is 4 years. In the US, it's 18 months is the average agency tenure.
What would you say to someone who wants to start a career in digital marketing in 2024?
I think the best things you can do are to think bigger than marketing, right? Like, you have to know how to work in a platform, yes, but you can learn that. What you need to bring to the table is an understanding of how to research, how to find answers, how to understand people, like understanding behavioral economics and psychology and economics and decision theory. Those are the skills that win, right? Design. If you can think bigger, you're going to be fine, because I can teach you the platform.
Yeah.
I can show you how it works. That's easy. What I can't teach you, at least what is easy to teach you, is how people work. So if you understand how people work, the rest is
just technicality.
It's just technical, right? That's that's the big idea. The rest is just details. Details can be solved.
One last question.
Yes.
If you were not doing what you do, what would you do?
Probably private equity.
Oh, so finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah, American way. Capitalism, as you said during your speech.
Capitalist.
Well, thank you very much, Sam.
So
it was nice. This is the first interview we do on Abondance, so we're very proud to have you. And thank you again for the speech. It was inspiring.
Thank you. I try.
Have a good day.